everyone, and welcome to today's edition. I am your anchor, Blessing Dilla, broadcasting live from the OLDN TV studios. And with me today is an amazing personnel. He's an OD practitioner. He calls himself the carpenter, and he's a politician. Streaming all the way from Nigeria, Mr. Ayodele, the carpenter. Thank you very much for joining us today. Could you introduce yourself very briefly, please?
I thought everything is in your hand. So to introduce myself now, okay, Favour Ayodele, popularly known as the Carpenter. So I'm the founder of the Carpenter Foundation, and also I am a consultant in leadership and management, also a life coach. What I mean by life coach is that I put people through stage by stage and, show them the path in which they're, one way or the other, they might have been feeling, show them direction, imparting knowledge, making sure that they are wonderfully tutored. So, and I said that, I wouldn't want to call myself a politician, but I am into politics. Precisely Nigerian politics. And so I'm also the founder of Thought Force Forum. The Thought Force Forum has to do with, it constitutes the presidential aspirant and candidate in Nigeria. That was the one that, that of 2019. Yeah. So, and the rest like that. I'm sorry, I'm very poor in introducing myself, in talking about myself, but my profile is out there and people can just, glance through, or if it is with you, you can say one or two things about it. And so that is it. That's my name. That's, people probably know, people call me a carpenter, and you know what carpenter, what they do, literally they build and they beautify. So that is, in terms of human being, we try to make sure that our life is built up on value. So I love preaching that. That's my core area. Yeah. So that's just a little about me. Maybe when we are going on, we'll talk more. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much for that introduction. In introducing yourself, you mentioned something pertaining to leadership. Let's start from there. What is your personal philosophy about leadership, and how does that philosophy fit in the global trends and the African context?
When you say global trend and then say in African context, is Africa not part of the world? Okay, I'm just, it's as a joke. I don't believe in leadership and followership concept of leadership. Okay, I believe in leadership and partnership. Are you with me? I believe in leadership and partnership. Leadership is not about creating followers, but duplicating leaders for teamwork in achieving common goal in different ways, recognizing people's strengths where you are not, that is what partnership is all about. That is division of labor. And on that note, I have these 5 philosophical ideologies of leadership. And I said, control panel leadership, that is CPL, character-centered leadership, CCL, value-centered leadership, VCL, common sense leadership, CSL, the intelligent servant leadership. These are the 5 philosophical ideology that I developed for myself, and I'll be using it for like how many years now. My system, leadership is hard work. I used to say it everywhere. It is a sacrificial process towards high responsibility. Leadership is working for people, and that is what people doesn't want to hear. When you call yourself a leader, you don't want to work for people. You want people to carry your load. You want people to, answer for you. You want people to do this and that. And that's what I'm talking about, intelligent servant leadership. So once you have all these 5 philosophical ideologies that I have formulated, it will guide us. So, and I said, leadership is working for people, like I said, rendering quality services to achieving ethical-oriented society. So, when you are called leader or you call yourself leader, the basic thing in this regard is to make sure that you have ethical-oriented society. So, leadership is creating value amidst tough times. There are a lot of people that are dodging this kind of tough time. They don't want to get themselves involved. They rather, give assignment. Give assignment to people. Assign portion of whatever thing that they want to do. They rather give it to people. They dodge it, and they said they are leader. Leader must always be at the world front every time. So creating value amidst tough times. How are you influencing your people? These are my concept. How are they going to stay in the course while you are facing a lot of things, while they are also facing a lot of things? Like I said, I don't believe in leadership and followership. It's about partnership, collaboration. So division of labor, when you understand that this part of yours, you are not perfect in that. This person is perfect in this particular leadership, or this particular area, you will be able to see that, oh, let me give it to this person. So distributing assignment that you might not probably be good at, because not everybody is 100% perfect. In your own area, your own core, you have to identify the other people's strength as well. So leadership is creating value amidst tough times. At the same time, that is why I said it's not cheap at all. Leadership is not cheap, and it should not be acclaimed by egocentric individuals. Are you with me? So it is not only by influencing people, but creating positive influential value in the life of others. Let me repeat myself. It is not by influencing people, but creating positive influential value in the life of others. So these are the things that make a leader. When two people, or if we have two phases of leadership, let me put it like this: good leadership and, of course, bad one. So when we are talking about leadership, it is myopically misplacement of phenomena. This conceptualized to those in government alone. You get my point. So if we are saying it is those people that are in the up there that to be called leaders, I don't know, in the home, in the family, in the society, in your workplace, where you are. For example, what you're doing, you are a leader in your own area. So once you are able to manage very well, and you are managing it as well, you are maximizing your potentials, and people are enjoying you. So that should be the leadership aspect we're talking about. So how far are you influencing others? So let me just say that those that take the role of helping others at the expense of their lives carry such virtue and must be regarded as leaders at the expense of their lives. So now, if anyone fall in this selfless trait, consider yourself a value producer. That is what I can say for now. Let me put it this way, or simply say sincere service to the people.
That's great. A sincere service to the people. Thank you very much for elaborating on that and that point in a very solid way, and I cannot say this, like, I'm glad you said that, and especially the last phrase you just made now. Thank you very much for that. We'll put a pin on that. We'll come back to that very shortly.
Okay.
We witnessed the unveiling of the Aero Leadership Institute on October 3rd. Very briefly, okay, could you share with the audience about the Aero's vision for Africa and some of the initiatives that Aero will embark on?
Okay, thank you for that question. Aero, let me start from here. Aero is the light of Africa. It says that we believe in using African content to develop Africa by Africans for Africa. It might be like a routine or normal works we are saying. We have to emphasize on it all the time. Everyone on the platform of Aero, that is our language, not just a language, that is what we believe, not just what we believe, that is what we are doing. Because we must be distinct from other existing institutes or institutions, all over. We have thousands of people, thousands of organizations in Africa. But this one is so unique. And we said it's the light of Africa, like I said. It is established for the implementation of content, ideas, initiative, potentials, then creativity. Aero is value-based organization for Africa. So if I would say Aero is focusing on fostering growth and development in Africa, one of the initiatives of Aero, like you rightly asked, is for, Aero is for Africa, is the socio-economic plan out of it. It is to pragmatically strategize through edutech, greenhouse, inclusive projects. So this is part of Aero. Now, part of Aero's mission is to making Africa affluent and investable. If you see all around, yes, it's like as if most of our leaders, our philanthropists, people that are very rich in our midst, they take our money, take our resources, to develop countries. They develop their outside countries, but they leave our own fallow. And people that are there, they don't want to come back here. Why? Because they think that probably one way or the other, leadership aspect of it is mobbing us. So Aero is established to make sure that everything that has been taken away in the year and the century past, we want to bring it back. We want to make sure that people start investing here. And through our project, we believe that Aero will not only liberate, transform Africa. So we have developed what do you call it now, blueprint around Aero's pillar. This, what we mean by this is technology, renewable energy, health and sport development, economy, and then agriculture. The S part of it is science. We have part of the science we want to do navigate towards environment, of course, arts and culture development, then education and vocational development. So in this, as professional body, that we be champion this conceptualized project for the development and advancing Africa, we won't give an outer of lacuna in the engagement or engaging concerned individuals. So we are asking African professionals across the globe to join us so that we can together transform Africa. Thank you. That's just a short, yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. All right, I'm very impressed with this Aero. But at the end of this video, I'm going to get the link so we can attach the Aero on the video. Nonetheless, exactly. There is a certain concern. Let me ask the question. Africa continue to face serious development challenges despite recent record growth rates. Such challenges as dependency, corruption, underdeveloped infrastructure and production sectors, and leadership and governance are some of the impediments to Africa's quest for sustainable and equitable development. In your own opinion, why do you think the leadership challenge in Africa persists?
That's a question that's 1 billion. That 1 billion. What is the currency of Zimbabwe? 1 billion naira. I don't want to mention naira. I don't want to mention dollars. I want to mention naira. I want to mention all parts of African currencies. So let me say this: lack of common sense leadership is affecting us. And it is because they don't have control panel leadership tools, like I've mentioned earlier. Two parts of this control panel leadership tool are vision and interest. Vision and interest. So some of African rulers are vision blur individuals. I'm telling you, they can't see far. They only see their immediate. I won't call them I'm sorry, I won't call them leaders, but they didn't have they didn't have what I have mentioned earlier. That is why I can't just say they are leaders. Some of them, I didn't say all of them. So since you can't give what you don't have, you can't affect or affect people's interests. You can make it happen. If I don't know how to add 1 + 1 is equal to 2 together, there's no how I can say 1 + 1 is equal to 2. So most African so-called leaders are not visionary oriented. At the same time, that is why innovation investment in children, youth, and women is a write-off program. This part of the gender, they are our life. You can't do away with them. You see, so all what they do is enriching their pocket and family. They forget society is there to consume them. Society is there to consume them. So let me just add this, that, excuse me, there's this word that I use often, zombieism. That is what most of them are seen doing. No, they capitalize on the resources coming from there, on the money, on the currency coming from there. They build houses there, companies, everything, because something is coming out from the developed countries. So the zombieism part is still there. So some can't think beyond their myopic interests, let alone society. That's lugubrious. That's unfair. That's too bad. You see, policymakers are troublemakers in Africa because of the lack of foresight. They make the policy, they also make it so difficult for people to enjoy. So meaning the policy they made is for themselves. The best brain in the world are Africans, my sister. The best brain in the world are Africans. So why are we still borrowing, importing everything? That is so sickening. They have mortgaged the destiny of Africa and outrightly sold us to China and other developed countries. This China of a thing, I don't know what they engage with. I don't know why this China. I don't know why. We are too brilliant. We are too great. Somebody in Nigeria, one of the four-figure high-profile individual in Nigeria was talking about, okay, Nigeria should not borrow, should not go and borrow money, but they should borrow idea. I fell at it. Borrow what? So everything has to be in this kind of syndrome, borrow syndrome. So if you're not borrowing money, we have to go and borrow idea. I don't get it. So what I'm trying to say is that, do you know why I like Donald Trump? I'm sorry to mention his name here, but I have to say something pertaining to that guy. And if the world like it or not, he's still the president of the world, number one. Do you know why I like him? It is his sense of American ideology. As he's throwing a huge challenge to Africa to be self-dependent. Go back and build your own. Go back and do something. Go back. He's talking to the leaders. Our family, our children, our people, they are there rotting. You know, they don't even have a place to stay. They are just managing. It is high time we come back home. It is high time we build ourselves. It is high time we make use of our content. It is high time we make use of an environment. So Donald Trump is literally telling us to build your continent. That is what he's saying. If he says that, okay, Nigeria is out of the lottery, whatever, since the date of Obama, and the guy sustained it, and other countries like that in Africa. So I can just figure it out. If you have this big continent, we are 1.3 billion as at a few years ago. In 2040, 2050, we'll be 1.67 billion in population, and we are still here. So we need to tell ourselves the truth by engaging and implementing projects with our content. We have to tell ourselves the truth, and that is why Aero is stepping in. May I shock you? 17 African countries are 60 years old this year. 17. Nigeria is involved. We just clocked 60 years October 1st. 17 out of them. And these 17, these 60, they are giant. They are older than me. And I can it is very difficult. Look at protest is going on in Nigeria right now. And because we are 60 years and nothing to show for it. Some are more than that. Why few are lesser than? And yet we can say, stay self-valued. Let me repeat myself. We can't stay self-valued. Enough of all this. So everything falls and rises on leadership. Are you with me? So that's the little I can dish out for you so that you will understand where we are coming from. This kind of thing persists because of lack of common sense leadership.
Yeah, this is true. This is very, very, very true, sir. Actually, I've done a background search on you before this, and I understood that you are kind of attached to the youth. Now, I'm going to ask you this. You probably work with youth and women in Africa and globally. In your opinion, what are some of the key skills that Africa needs to focus on within the next 10 years?
Oh, thanks for this question. And in fact, there's a platform I just created now for the youth of Nigeria that I want them to put resources together, and they were like asking, they don't know this person, some we say, they will know him, the carpenter, some say no, all manner of things. So it is very important to understand our strength before engaging radical implementation of potentials in Africa. It is very, very important. Like I've said, firstly, Africa's population is 1.3 billion as at 2018. In 2013, 2014, I've mentioned that we are going to be 1.65 to 1.7 billion. So what does that mean? Human capital will rise and cost of living will follow suit. So what Africa needs more now is co-creating inclusive projects around entrepreneurship for both youth and women. Do you understand what I'm saying? Co-creating inclusive projects around entrepreneurship. So if we are able to do this, we are good to go. And that is why I said that our leaders, they don't have, foresight. Most of them are not practicing, they don't even engage in visionary leadership. They don't have it. They can't think beyond. How would they think for the youth? So in our own way, in my own little way, so let me just have this, that technology is the global tool for development, and that is why China, that they are calling, and Israel, United States of America, South Korea, Russia, I can just mention them. Sweden, and others are leading in the infrastructure and the innovative projects. The worth of our population is huge enough. It's huge enough to create a balanced agricultural mechanism. So if you do not have this, we won't go anywhere. Now, to focus now, we have IoT, that is Internet of Things, AI, we have greenhouse, and of course, renewable energy are worth focusing, especially for youth and women. So this area, we need to channel our energy, because since technology is ruling the world, then we must be able to make sure technology to do all our projects, everything we want to do. It's doable, it's possible. They are doing it there. Why can't we do it here? When our brain are being used every day by them, Africans are there, a lot of people's, fantastic phenomena, they are there, they are using them, they are feeding on us. Why can't we just come down here and use what we have to develop our own? So this area is very important, so that we can go from here.
Yes, sir. Very true. So that being said, I remember in the beginning you said you are not a politician and you referred to being a carpenter. And I understand that you are running in for president very soon. Now that leads me to the question, you are a presidential aspirant for Nigeria. What sparked the third force form? That's, how can I put this? Like, as you are aspiring for the presidential post in Nigeria, what led to this? And before that, what are your plans for the Nigeria body at large?
My plan is great. My plan is enormous. I don't even have a word to describe how my plans are for the entire Nigeria. And of course, once Nigeria
for the future of Nigeria, of course.
Yes, that is it. But I must say this, that firstly, Third Force Forum was established as a political platform for paradigm shift in Nigeria, where ordinary Nigerians can fit in with intentional political aspiration. You know, our leaders have failed us. If you plug your TV, you will see what is happening in Nigeria. For the past 4 days, we have been engaging in a very powerful protest everywhere.
NSAS.
You know, NSAS, thank you. That's the hashtag everywhere. And it's not just NSAS. NSAS is just a syndrome in what is making us angry. So all these things, if you look at the NSAS is just a unit, it's just a micro aspect of police in Nigeria. So if you look at the police itself, you will discover that they are not even okay. Their salary is so poor. All this section, all this institution in Nigeria, my plan for them is to make sure that we are on the same scale. But I'm coming before I jump into that. Third Force Forum was birthed to conquer ruling and then opposition political parties in Nigeria. APC, I don't know, maybe you are familiar with it, APC and PDP. It's a coalition of presidential candidates towards 2019 elections, and we've passed that. And now, so I'm one of the presidential aspirants then that came together under the umbrella of PACT, Presidential Aspirant Coming Together. So I signed agreement with some other colleagues, and we're able to produce one person. So I stayed with my course, I stayed with what I signed, and that is why sometimes some people do not know who is Carpenter. They wouldn't know that we have done some kind of sacrifice. We spend a lot of money. I spend millions of naira, but not because of millions that I've spent, not because of myself, but because of the people of Nigeria. So it wasn't a selfish thing, neither it is also a selfish thing at the moment, because I believe that a leader, like I said, once you have the content or the philosophical ideology that I mentioned, common sense leadership, control panel leadership, intelligent servant leadership, value-centered leadership, and so on and so forth. This thing will guide whoever I want to lead the country. And that is what I am, hopefully by the grace of God, mounting up. So you are asking a question that, so before that, the agenda basically is to produce common front among the new breed politicians. That was why we formed the Third Force Forum, the metamorphosical part of the PACT, Presidential Aspirant Coming Together. So that's the agenda generally. So you mentioned that my intention, my plan, my intention, my dear, is to see everybody living on the same page, like I said, with contagious common sense policy in enabling secured environment. I don't know, maybe I'm too fast. Shall I slow a little bit?
No, we're very good. We're very good, sir. You can proceed.
I'm looking forward also to seeing a nation with a sense of belonging, having people-oriented policies and with sincerity of purpose on a common ground. You know, my intention is also to create a friendly, productive, industrial, functional society. That is my plan. We want to make sure that Nigeria is industrialized, digitalized. This is my plan for Nigeria. Once we are able to do this with sincerity of purpose, there won't be anything that will be lesser, if not greater, than Dubai and Co. Because we want to make sure, oh, you laughed. Yes.
I'm laughing in gladness, like I hope.
It seems undoable. It seems too vague. We want to make sure Nigeria become one of the most enviable, in fact, the most enviable country in the world. I have a team. We have a very fantastic intellectuals, individuals that are around. We are building, and they are already putting their feet on ground. And one of them is I don't just want to, let me just begin to mention names. So I must say it is a clarion call to all Nigerians, both home and abroad, to come together under one umbrella against those who have over time recycled themselves in a corridor of power for decades. And yet Nigeria is on the, shall I say, is on the 2,000 year backward. 2,000 year backward. I don't know, maybe you understand what I mean. Meaning we are far behind instead of going forward. So I want to see my dear country, you know, on this pedestal, leading if not the world, Africa. So I'm coming out 2023 as towards the presidential race. So I'm asking my listener to support my mandate. I am not trying to campaign, but I'm trying to tell you that it is time to take the bull by the horn. You know, so and deliver Nigeria from this macaronic government. It's too macaronic. I'm sorry. So that's just a little, because I know you have time. Maybe next time we can talk more of this.
Okay, thank you very much for saying that, and I hope the listeners will get in touch, because we'll have your link attached to the video and every other social media. We started saying something in one of the first questions. I mentioned leadership, but I told you we'll put a pin because we'll come back to that shortly.
Okay.
Because of our time, I'm just going to ask you one more question, and then we can wrap up from there. Character formation is the foundation of effective leadership and sound governance. In what ways can the character-based leadership be encouraged at self, family, organization, and societal levels?
Okay. I won't say much here because it has to do with the life itself. And I said, your question, if I will answer it, let me just answer it this way. Involving in value-centered intellectual programs will help us. Like your platform, it's so great. Dr. Justin is doing great things. If you must have character valued or value-centered character, you have to engage in this kind of programs. In this kind of, you must also have the association that relate with it. Co-creating formative gathering, you have to get yourself in that. I don't know, maybe you get what I'm saying. I don't know if I'm speaking to, sorry. I'm just trying to bring out some, a word or sentence, simple sentence to wrap this. Co-creating formative gathering, you get yourself in that. Then self-development. Self-development is key. When you are developing yourself in the things that you don't even know, that you've never in your life ventured into, it will help you to build your character. You know, when you are in a particular gathering that are more than 10, 20, 30, 40, 100, by the time they throw some words at you, it will show the kind of who you are and the character you portray when you are responding to messages. So some people are so aggressive, some people are so high-tempered. So before you know it, they're already losing it. So, but when you are involving yourself in these values center intellectual programs, you'll be able to know that, you'll be able to develop your characters. And I also say something like research. Yes, I've said it somewhere. Research on new knowledge transfer materials. New knowledge transfer materials. That is, you see a material that you are going to have, you see something that you are going to read, it transfers knowledge to you. What you know that can transfer knowledge to you, you get yourself engaged in it all the time, always. So in this, you can build your character-based leadership. It's very simple. But I don't know if it is not simple to others. But I'm making it simple to people now to understand that these are the areas that we can fall into so that we can experience a very fantastic leadership element.
Oh my. Am I supposed to clap?
No. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir, for this wonderful insight you have shared with us. Also, I want to thank you so much for honoring our invitation today at the studio. It's a bit, I know the schedules nowadays are a bit hard to push and pull, but I thank you for making our time to join us today. And please, what are your social media handles? How can you be reached? Do you have books? And that's it.
Okay. I don't have a book for now, but I'm working on my books. It will soon come. I want to launch my book with something that is very great for Africa. It's on leadership, and I believe that book will address the key point, that we need to have for Africa and in Africa. So, but you can follow me on my Twitter, I'm not a Twitter person, but at least people love tweeting here and there. So the carpenter, you Google me, you see there. Um, I'm very prominent in Facebook, the carpenter Favour. You see me there. On LinkedIn, you can see His Excellency Ambassador Dr. Favour Ayodele. You will see me there. And then what else? I think I have Instagram, the carpenter Favour. You can also, put it there. So everywhere, carpenter will show forth. Then for Aero, you can visit us on our website, www.weareaero.org. So that's where you can get me contacted.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you once again. Hello, everyone. Thank you once again for staying tuned in with me. Once again, is an amazing person. His Excellency, Ambassador Dr. Ayodele Favour, streaming live from Nigeria. Thank you very much for joining us today. And if you're following us on Facebook, please make sure, if you're watching this on Facebook, please follow us and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, OLDN. And if you want to be a part of the OLDN family, please visit www.centraold.com. And the links to get in touch with Dr. Ayodele will be attached to this video, and the link to be a member of this wonderful body will be attached in this video. Once again, I am your anchor, Blessing Dolo from the OLDN TV studios. Stay tuned in for the next edition. Bye.
Bye-bye.